John. Ya, coba dulu lah, jangan dimatiin dulu. Bisa nggak? Suara gua ada nggak?
Stepping to the murder site, I'd felt it.
Ada.
In the air. A meaning.
Oh ada, ya udah. Tapi gua nggak bisa baca chat lu masalahnya.
Like a cloud of wrath. The dead eyes of the victim staring at something you couldn't see, and yet making you aware of it. Something that soaked into this place on a molecular level, overlapping with your meaningless existence. Regression to something you had managed to forget. Marking you. Taking you for a ride. Making you crazier.
Halo. Udah apartemen. Gimana John? Lancar John streamingnya John? Atau nge-lag mas bro?
The station had changed. I was closer now.
Sepi sekali bang. Aduh.
Parliament Tower.
Kemana ya ini ya?
New York. Was I really this close to being home? Going up to our apartment? Would I be home?
Parliament
Or
Tower.
was this
Oh
just
ini
an echo
kayaknya.
of the real thing? Even then,
Oh,
the
yeah.
murder site had brought me one step closer to escape.
Kesini nih chat kayaknya nih. What is up everybody? Oh iya benar nih kesini.
Maybe he was a victim. The writer. Maybe he was a victim. The cult, using his words. Or maybe he was the monster behind it all. Either way, Alice Wake, his ex, she knew things. It was there in her art for all to see. A cry for help. The darkness.
Suara ada nggak John? Suara gamenya
And that put her
keluar
in
nggak?
danger.
Was Alice here? In the story?
Suara game keluar John, suara game. Om John Wick. Wah kacau, dia kaget-kaget smash bro.
Alice's photo equipment. Set to go off when the door opens.
Get out! Leave me alone!
Alice! Alice! Alice. This is a photo of Scratch. How did Alice get this? Is he stalking her?
Big photos for exhibition posters.
This is the door to my study, where I wrote my books. This symbol wasn't here before.
Saka mas
Alice's
bro.
video camera. No memory card inside. Part 1.
Oh, dapat nih
What
memory
was
card
Alice working
nih.
on?
Aduh, ingin ngejokes tapi kayak tidak sopan. Video Agno on screen, focal point of the dark place.
When I was younger, photography was everything to me. I moved to New York thinking I'd make it as an artist. And then I met Alan. We had a good thing. We were both dedicated by our creative ambitions. The only difference was that Alan's work made money. He brought me work when he could. I took his promo shots, created covers for his books. I'm sure he forced his publisher into it. I was taking photos, just not my photos. And that gnawed at me. Things got complicated sometimes, but that's life, right? We loved each other.
Suara feedback, kenapa tuh bisa feedback?
Then Alan hit a block.
Tes. Oh, kayaknya terlalu kenceng. Bentar, kecilin. Tes.
One I didn't
Nah,
like.
tes.
I set up a trip to see a doctor in Washington. I didn't tell him until we got there. We argued. Things went wrong. And he was just gone. Drowned, allegedly. It's easy for people to think it was my fault. Hell, I do too sometimes. About 6 years ago, I started hearing noises in the night. Typewriter keys clacking. Voices. Alan was back. Haunting me. Then it got violent. It was Alan. And yet, it was a monster. He always did have anger in him. I set up cameras around the apartment with motion sensors and flashes. Now, when the monster comes, I turn it into art. My nightmares caught on film. And this is the focus of my new exhibition. To show people the world is so much darker than they ever knew. I'm calling this exhibit The Dark Place.
Alice. Scratch was terrorizing her. Why?
Look for Alice. Wah, kemana nih chat? Waduh. Wah, saya jadi takut ya. Kemana ya?
I had a new beat for the story.
Di sini kayaknya.
The door wouldn't open. I sat in the writer's room and wrote a story. Initiation. To project myself through the dark place, to look for a way out. The story had brought me here, brought me nowhere. Looped me back. I was writing the story. And in the story, I now stepped into the writer's room. But there was no one here.
Bentar. Kayaknya setting kameranya harus di-offin dulu bentar. Wah, harus off dulu Off dulu ya, bentar. Harus off dulu.